Salutations, friends and strangers of the interwebs. Welcome. I am Said Stevie. Stevie said. Said Stevie. Flip it, reverse it. You know who I am. Today, we're talking about this bad mamma jamma right here. This is the Spyderco Manix 2. This is the knife that is responsible for sending me down the rabbit hole that I'm currently venturing down in the knife world. This is the very first knife that I spent more than $100 on years ago. I picked this up in... I was trying to find my receipt for it in my emails and I couldn't find it. But I'm almost positive that... I am positive. I got this in mid-2017. I know that because I was already working at my current job, which I've been at since 2017. And I got it right before Thanksgiving of that year. And I wasn't living in the house that I'm living in now, which I moved into in 2018. So it was somewhere mid-2017 that I picked up this knife. So it's been close to 5 years. Call this a full-term review, call this whatever. It's just a knife that I've had for a long time and I've never really talked about that much. Prior to getting this knife, I carried cheapy knives. I don't think I had spent more than $30 on a knife before. I know I had a Rat 1. My Rat 1 I've had for close to 10 years, but most of the knives that I had got were from either literally gas station knives or from like Blade City, you know, those crappy M-Tech type knives. One day I'll eventually do a video on one of my M-Techs that I've had for a long time that's still holding up. But anyway, I was semi-familiar with Spyderco, not necessarily by the name, but by, you know, the blade shape and seeing the hole in the blade. Thought they looked goofy, didn't quite understand why you would have a hole in your blade like that. Don't know where specifically I came across the Manix 2, but when I saw it, this just really piqued my interest. And it was mainly because of the ball cage locking mechanism I thought was unique. I saw the price tag on it. I know I paid whatever, I think they're still going for like right around 138 bucks. I know that's what I paid for it, and I remember thinking, am I crazy for spending that much money on a knife? But I decided to do it anyway, and I'm really glad I did. But when I got this in hand, I was like, holy smokes, this knife just felt like it was the most amazingly built knife ever. Quick specs on this. This has what they call, I believe, a satin matte finish on the drop point style blade, full flat grind, CPM S30V. It's held up really well over the years. You're looking at G10 on this, really grippy G10. It's done really well. You got a lanyard tube, never put a lanyard on it. No backspacer. It came, I'll talk about that in a little bit more. This has a reversible pocket clip, making it fully ambidextrous. And like I said, the ball cage lock on there, which this has been upgraded as well. Originally came with a plastic ball cage. But ergos are just money on this thing. There's jimping everywhere on this knife, and it's done extremely well. You got jimping along the spine of the handle and the spine of the blade. It's pretty aggressive jimping. I mean, it locks your finger into it. I didn't have any knives that had like a forward choil on there, and I thought it looked a little weird until I realized that, oh, I can choke up on this knife really well. But it fit in my hand extremely well, and not a single hot spot. Like I said, the locking mechanism I thought was really cool. Pull that down and it drops shut. I did not know what Spidey flicking was, or some people still call it reverse flicking. Why is it called reverse flicking? I don't know. Middle finger flicking. I didn't even know that that was a thing yet. I just deployed it with my thumb, and yeah. It was years later that I came across the 5 finger challenge and heard about middle finger Spidey flicking. Let's see if I can still. I haven't tried doing that in a while. Can I still do it? Probably not. Nope. 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 I can't do it. Anyway, I could do it at one point, but yeah, I didn't even know what Spidey flicking was. I just constantly deployed it like this. I ended up realizing that this was money well spent. This became my primary carry knife for a couple of years, for sure. This was the only knife that I carried, and put it to hard use. This knife has cut many spools of weed eater line. It's cut back blackberry bushes. It's carved many of s'mores sticks and hot dog roasting sticks during camping. It's cut many slices of birthday cake. I've used this for food prep. It's got, because of that drop point style blade on it, you can literally, do really good, fine dicing with this, which I have. And yeah, the blade is held up, like I said, very, very well. You don't really see the years of usage on the finish at all. And yeah, I love this knife. I don't talk about it very much anymore because I just don't carry it much anymore because I have so many knives now. But as I mentioned, this was the only one for years, and I wasn't even really aware of, or I wasn't aware of the knife community at all at this point. It wasn't until this did start getting pretty buggered up. I had kind of cracked the ball cage on it. I don't remember how that happened, but it got split. It was just a plastic ball cage, and it was kind of like hanging on, and I could see. I thought for sure that ball and that spring was going to pop out of there, so I was kind of worried about that. And then one day, getting out of my truck, I bent the pocket clip 90 degrees, and tried bending it back down, and it wasn't working very well at all. So I ended up, this is probably 2019-ish, maybe later. Yeah, it could have even been like early 2020. No, it was 2019 for sure. If I go back and look at some pictures, I'm pretty sure it's 2019. Quick beverage check. This is just ice water with some yummy fruit punch vitamin drops in it. It's hot out. Need to make sure I stay plenty hydrated. But yeah, the clip needed to be replaced, and I didn't know where to get a replacement clip. I think I had looked on Spyderco's website, and I don't know if I found something, but I ended up Google searching replacement clip, and that's when Lynch Northwest popped up. And I had never heard of them before. Started checking out their options, and then I saw that they were in Washington State and was like, oh, well, I got to get one of those. $20, titanium, what? Did it anyway. Got the clip in and installed it, and I liked how it became ultra deep carry at that point. I did, so I always thought the clip was kind of ugly on it, but I did actually like how it left a little bit of the meat of the knife, the heel of the knife, hanging out, so I could grab onto it. But then I decided I liked it more sitting down in my pocket, ultra deep carry. But yeah, so now I had modded my knife for the first time. I'm like, well, if you can replace that, I'm sure you can replace the ball gauge too. And at that point, I did a Google search for ball cage replacement, and it was OCD for ECD's video that popped up on YouTube. And up until that point, I hadn't really ever watched a video on YouTube about knives. I watched him do that, and I was like, well, I think I can do that. So I ordered a Flytanium ball cage replacement and followed back along through Justin's video. It was a complete pain in the ass, but I did it, and I thought, wow, look at this knife. This thing is bad ace. And I still think this is a badass knife. But that got me looking at more videos on YouTube. I found Nick Shabazz, who had done a Manix 2 video. And I found Metal Complex, who had done a video. I found Jared Neve, Neve's Knives. I think those were really the first 3 channels that I found on YouTube back in like 2019. They had already been out for a little while. I think it was Neves that had recommended adding the sharpening choil into the blade, which I did. For the longest time, I just used a pull-through ceramic sharpener that I had for like my kitchen knives. And then I eventually got the Spyderco, the Sharp Maker, the one with the rods that you go back and forth with, which still works really well. I've brought this knife back to life though a bunch of times. It's still pretty sharp. I don't know what this is. This came out of my Smoky Mountain Knife Works catalog, but it's still, it does the trick. Definitely does the trick. It's the only knife that I've ever had with S30V. I'm pretty sure this is my only knife with S30V. And it's good to go as far as I'm concerned. It's held up extremely well. As I mentioned, the blade doesn't show the wear and tear that it's had on it. The G10 has definitely taken some abuse over the years, but it's held up really well. But yeah, I wasn't even familiar with the knife community. Started to check out some more channels. Started doing more searching on Facebook. I wasn't even into Instagram at that point, and that's what led me to all the different buy-sell trade groups. Started introducing me to even more knives. Got to know some pretty cool people that I still talk to today. In that world of buying and selling and trading knives. And yeah, it also started my love obsession of Lynch Northwest and modding knives. So this knife might not be carried very often anymore, but it's still a knife that is going to be a forever knife for me. Just because of, one, it's a completely capable EDC knife. You can beat the crap out of this thing, and it's good to go. I think Javon just put it in his top 5 EDC knives in the video that he just did. I'll try to link that video up there for you guys to watch. It's a great video. Agree with pretty much all his knives there. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about this knife other than it's completely good to go. I give this 2 thumbs up. In the stock configuration, like I said, they're about $138. It's less than $150 for G10, S35 or S30. It comes in all sorts of different flavors, in all sorts of different price points. All the different sprint runs. Different steels, Rex 45, S90V, Maximit, S45 VN, I'm sure. All the different handle scale materials, lightweight versions that have wire clips on them that you can also put a Spyderco wire replacement clip from Lynch Northwest on. But yeah, I'm not a big Spyderco fan. The only other 2 Spydercos that I have ever had is a lightweight Para 3 that I eventually sold didn't really care for it too much, and then I got a smock. At least I think I still have a smock. I can't find it, but I know I have one, and I love it. But other than that, Spyderco's just not really my jam. But I think the price point on this for what you're getting, made in the United States, is another, big. Ew, what's that? Another big plus on that. Again, I think this knife brings the value, and to upgrade it and mod it and change out the ball cage and put another clip on it, you're looking at another 60-ish bucks, 70-ish bucks. So in a basic configuration with some upgrades, it's now a $200 knife. Still, I think this knife at $200 with the upgrades, or $140 without the upgrades, is completely good to go. It's there's nothing I can't complain about this knife at all. Now, if Spyderco is not your jam and you don't like holes and you don't like a ball cage, obviously this is not going to be for you. But I think that this could definitely check a lot of points, or check a lot of boxes for some people, and it's not a knife I see a lot of people talk about. Now, I'm not really involved in the Spyderco world, so maybe that's why, but like I said, I give this 2 thumbs up. I've recommended this knife a few times, and I think that it's completely good to go. I did check before making this video to see if they are readily available, and they are in quite a few different configurations on White Mountain Knives, and they even have some of the Flightanium ball cage replacements there, and some different scales that you can get for it. And as of this morning, I actually have my very own discount code for White Mountain Knives now. So starting today, you can actually use discount code Stevie10 to save yourself some money on White Mountain Knives. I don't get anything from that. It's just a discount code for you guys to use. There's no kickbacks or anything. I thought that there were. That's why I was promoting Mattisfactions for the longest time, because I thought that there was some kickback that you got with that. Nope. It's just a discount code that you can use. So there's quite a few, but I got one now too, which is pretty cool. So that's really it, folks. Spyderco Manix 2, the knife that led me to where I am now. I guess that kind of makes it full circle, right? This is the first knife that I ever searched for on YouTube, and I am now reviewing this knife on YouTube. And yes, I'll call it a review. I've had this long term. I can call this a review if I want. It's good to go. It's good to go. So let me know what you guys think. Do you have a Manix 2? Have you had a Manix 2? Do you like it? What configuration is your favorite? What do you think of S35 or S30V? What do you think of Lynch Northwest? Have you done the ball cage replacement? How was it for you? But I appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out the video. Don't forget to turn on notifications. That definitely helps the channel. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. You can do that right there. Check out that video right there. And until the next one, I will talk to all you lovely mofos later. Deuces.